How's my audio? I'm asking, how is my audio? Test, test, test. Did nobody hear me?
Hello.
Okay, thanks, Carl. I couldn't tell if it was on or not. Nobody was answering. All right. Yeah, I was bored this morning. It's rainy here in sunny Florida. So I dropped the bridge and swung the bridge and turned the layout on while I'm waiting for my farm scene to dry. Those that were watching Modeling Monday last night, let me turn this around because of the delay. Yeah, it does. Those that watched Modeling Monday last night, I put the Sculptamold, my first go around with Sculptamold on the hillside there for the farm scene. And of course, it was still wet, damp this morning. That's just the way Sculptamold is, I've been told. But I did add a layer of Smooth It on, and you know, the little undulations, it doesn't bother me. This isn't a road, this is a natural hillside, and by the time static grass is on there, I doubt you're going to be able to tell. Well, it depends on if what the temperature is, Jason. You know, um, I've lived all across the Midwest, and oops, got a derailment. Uh, I've lived all across the Midwest and Southwest, Oklahoma, um, Memphis, Texas, of course, Illinois, Iowa, um, as well in Wisconsin, and you know that Tampa Bay has never had a 100-degree day ever, and none of the other places I just cited can say that. Uh, Humidity levels in the Midwest, Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa, are not that much lower than here in Florida. Okay, the difference here is it's longer. Okay, and we don't have a winter. Uh, so, hey, Robert, welcome. Arc sauna, yeah, hot Atlanta in Georgia. All right, where did I put my throttle? I set it down. Now I don't know what I did with it. Which is not an uncommon occurrence. There it is. It wasn't really a derailment as much as a collision. My Broadway Pincy Broadway Limited dropped the observation card on the next lap around because I wasn't watching. The E8 hit it and tipped over. Hey, I've been busy. I've already got the smooth it on the hillside on, and come back over and as it dries, you wipe it a little bit more, and it smooths out even more. Takes all the liquid lines, I like to call them, out. Cleaned up the track enough to run some trains through there. I do this more often. I hardly ever stream. Well, Jason, I've been boning up on my CB and Q history lesson, so to prepare for that, whenever it is you want me to talk about it. I did find out some interesting facts. Oh, I should do this more often. That's okay, Robert. You know, I don't, I don't stream. Don't expect anybody to show up. I was just bored, and I said, you know, I'm gonna run some trains, and if anybody's on that wants to watch, that's great. Well, you know, I have. I'll give some history there too because it comes into play with the Burlington, um, and how they interacted with other railroads. That part, the Chicago area stuff, I know. All right, because I grew up with it and knew all the history or most of the history uh, as it related to the Chicago area. It was some of the other interfaces, like with the Northern Pacific, Great Northern, how the California Zephyr interchanged with other. Oh, I did it again. I'm going to have to check a coupler on that observation or dome car, one or the other. Third lap. Not intentionally ignoring y'all. I'm seeing an issue. Hello, Lee. Hey, Rick, how you doing? All right, John. Bye. Time to park the Broadway Limited as it runs full speed into Union Station. All right. How about the Super Chief? Yeah, Jason, it's going to be a cow pasture though. It's not a forest. It's either going to be a cow pasture or a cornfield, hillside cornfield. Yeah, I might put some on the fence line. I've got my fence posts all cut. I was planning on taking them out and to my fancy dancy spray booth. These are my fence posts outside and get them painted, but the weather's not cooperating. Well, my scenery is set in late July, early August, Rick, so the trees are not bare. I should put the link, see if anybody wants to come up. I can remember how to do it. Oh, there it is. Hey, Tyler. Let me figure out what. I heard some. I saw some shells you can, some shells you can't. I didn't know what that meant. I do. Probably 5 miles. Digitrax. Not not the one she's got, but it's all the same uh, wiring and everything. All right, let me scroll back and see if I can see her questions. All I saw was, how do you know which one, and your answer to that. Um, Dang, then how do you know if you can? All right, Nancy, I don't see your question. Other than, how do you know if you can? Oh, hi, I'm happy to learn that you can swap out shells. Yeah, for locomotives? Absolutely. Well, you know how much I use of Digitrax? Basically, just the operation of it. The Loconet, period. I don't. I use a cell phone with engine driver, and I've got it hooked to the computer and run JMRI. So I don't do anything with my Digitrax controller. I mean, this thing's been in a drawer for months. I mean, what I don't understand the affinity of one over the other. Okay. Uh, hey, Donegal Dad. I mean, I do all my programming through JMRI. Like I said, I run consisting on the cell phone through Engine Driver is super easy. Uh, so I don't get it. You just got to buy the USB interface for your computer and an interface for Wi-Fi. I do it all on JMRI, Jason. I have never used my Digitrax controller. Well, I won't say never. In the very beginning, for about a month, I used it just to change from to change the address. Now, a lot of clubs will run one or the other, either Digitrax or NCE. So where it could matter is what one you adopt is whatever your local club has, so that you can be compliant with them. So, and that's one of the reasons why I chose Digitrax, is because the local club, which hasn't had a meeting due to COVID uh, in over a year, runs Digitrax. How does NCE handle boosters? Hey, Nick. Vintage toys. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I've got two of these MRC throttle packs. I use that for my DC variable uh, test track and DC constant test, and 16 volt AC for my smoke unit and the turntable. And my junk drawer. See, because I'm going to have to add a booster if or when I ever get across this other island over behind me, behind the picture. Let's swing it around to that over there and bridge the gap. Actually, the bridge is half built for here and here. Okay, I'll have to put a booster under here. I've already run the LocoNet cable all the way around for it, so. Take a look down. Let's watch down there for a while. Hey, I ordered some more backdrop buildings from Nick. And oh, Jason, I also ordered a barn like yours. You know, he's got the two different barns in HO, and I ordered the one like yours because it had kind of like an open face for cattle and stuff. Probably the same reason you chose it. But I've ordered that and some back drop flats for behind here, so that when I run my cab camera, you're not just looking at a gray wall here. It'll have background scenery, buildings. Yeah, Rick, with the amount of switches I run, you got to remember all my switches are on the same power bus. Not the same bus, but the same deal. And I run without any locomotive started up. I run just under 1 amp because the tortoises and smails are constantly powered. And currently there's 44 smails. All right, on the layout. So right now I'm up to about most I run would be 4 locomotives at a time, typically 2 consisted, 2 pairs consisted. I mean, I could get up to 5, and each locomotive takes roughly a quarter amp, give or take. So that pushes me up over right at 2 amps, just slightly above. And I think mine's only a 3 amp power supply. It may be a 5, but I think it's only a 3. Well, I got 2 wires going to the track too. but I got to drop every 3 feet from that to so I don't have any dead spots. Yeah, I wanted Smales, so they have to run off it because they need that decoder signal. And price wise, they're about the same when you buy the Smales in bulk. I get on the average about 12 for $300, whatever that works out to. I tell you what, I wish I would have. Some of the things I wish I wouldn't have done. I wish I would not have used Atlas switches. Really? Well, too bad for them. It doesn't look fake. It actually looks really good. Um, and it all depends on angles and lighting, and there's too many variables. But I think for a flat, that barn's probably the best I've seen. You can, I think you can, brick, switch 8, and then use tortoises. But see, but for the price difference of a Smale and buying in bulk, like I say, the price difference is not. There isn't that much of a price difference, and the wiring's a whole lot easier. So, all right, we'll see you later, Jason. Am I adding more switches? I'm sorry, I'm looking back up, Rick. Uh, the layout as it exists now has all the switches in place. All right, they're not all being used, but they're all in place and wired. Over there on the Great Lakes Industrial, here, the switches are in place to bring it across. Right here behind the roundhouse, and here the switches are in place to take it over to the island as well. So, and they're all wired up, all right, and address and all that. I just pray I don't hit the wrong address and send the train go flying off. I'd never do that. But yeah, this island will be nothing but switches. That'll ultimately be a big yard and industrial complex. I currently have, for operations, which I haven't even begun to get into yet, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 industry sidings as it exists right now. I've got the farm, which will load grain and cattle and hay and whatever else. I've got my bakery, which will bring in milled flour, sweetener in tank cars. They'll ship out boxcar and reefers. I've got the don't get dizzy. I've got the lumber yard, which takes in a variety of products. Of course, lumber. It'll take in pipe, wood, brick, steel, oil. This Heinz back in the 60s distributed home heating oil. It'll take in sand, coal, gravel. What else I got down there? It'll take in insulation, sheetrock, chain link fence and posts, bagged concrete. Okay, so it can, just about any car on the layout can go to the lumberyard. Then the engine facility over here, that takes in oil, diesel fuel from the refinery. Okay. Right now I've got the North Coast Limited wrapped around, but it's actually on the siding for the bakery. Then back over here. I wish I had a zoom on this camera, but I don't. I've got the stockyards on one side and meat packing plant. So I have what I call the meat train. I put all my stock cars and I put my reefers, and that's my meat train. Then back here in the harbor can take. Actually, I've got two more what I call dead sidings. All right, you cannot actually back a train up to them. You have to use the hand of God, because it's the harbor on one side, and on the other side is below the packing plant, and the rock wall face back here you can't see. I have blood stained, and that's where they throw the hides out down into a gondola to ship out. But actually, if you back scrap steel gondolas down through the refinery siding, then you take them off and set them down on the harbor. So, and then of course you got the grain elevator to store and ship out via barge and rail grain. So you would have grain go from the farm to here to milling, which will eventually be over here, and then from milling to the bakery. Then you got the refinery back here, so it can take tank cars in and ship tank cars out to the engine facility there, to the lumber yard, and to the engine facility, which will be going right here. And then you've got two sidings for the gravel plant. So I still need my brewery, because I've got all kinds of beer reefers. Need a brewery, a milling outlet. I already have the cement plant kit from when I was a kid that I have to rebuild. But those will all go over here eventually. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Um, there's more, going back up, Rick, to your question about the booster. There's more to it than eating the savings and cost. Okay. Distance that the electrical has to go matters. And the longer your runs are, the more the voltage will drop. Okay, now you can combat that by thicker wire, and I've used all 14 gauge for my bus with 18 gauge drops. Oh, I've been turning the camera around. Oh, to get closer up. Actually, I have another computer just the other side of this door that the camera I'm using is typically tied into on this line. But hey. Oh yeah, I know. I've got the runs. No, not those runs, but I mean, I've got the USB lines to be able to do stuff. This one's hooked into the living room computer. The problem is here, my Surface Pro will not run more than one camera at a time, and if I try to change cameras, it'll lock up. Okay, it's not built for graphics. But what I can do, here's what I can do. All right. Oh, crap. Crap, crap, crap. Oh, shit. Stop. Doesn't help when I drop the line onto a train and have it come undone. I'll get that in a minute. La 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 la. All right, is this better, Rick? Well, it all depends, Rick. It's not it's not an issue until you start adding more than the voltage and amperage doesn't become an issue at this stage. But when I open up the expansion back here, okay, and have multiple more engines, and that when I do that, I'll be able to run 3 trains on 3 different loops, plus be running switching operations on that island. Now voltage and amperage matters. Okay. Um, a lot. And thus why I'm talking eventual booster sitting over there. Does that make more sense? Hello, Mohammed. Now if I can get my Capital Limited back up and running from dropping a cable on it. Mr. McCarville! Looks like you had a good time at that train show. But not as good as Roy had. And I'm not talking about adding a booster in any time in the near future. All right, that expansion's way off. Way off. But I plan ahead. Because it's far better to go ahead and put the switches necessary in so I don't have to tear up the running portion of the layout to do an expansion. Well, Howard, this stream is about model railroads. I don't have the harbor portion And the only time I put the harbor, which goes here, the only time I put that in is when I want to do some photo stuff. I really don't, Brian. I've if I find some reasonably priced Union Pacific passenger cars, I only have 5 for my City of Los Angeles train, but it and I normally run 7 or 8 passenger cars per train. My Burlington Zephyr runs 8. I think most everything else runs 6 to 7. So that would be something I'd look for. I I don't really need any more locomotives at this time. I still have 2 Proto 2000 E8s that I've got to convert over to DCC eventually. If I found a New York Central shell for Proto 2000 E8, just the shell, I would go for that. Uh, Much like I did for my Pensy to run my Broadway limited train, I found a shell. I've been looking for a month or two, and just happened to find one like the day after train show when I bought all the Pensy passenger cars. So I really lucked out. Yes, they are, Mohammed. Hey, Ray. I'm just fiddle farting around this morning, Ray. Let's, uh, let's see, what else would I look for? The Texaco tank car. Almost any beer car, old ice reefer. Uh, Burlington hoppers. Some cement cars, Burlington or other cement cars, and some gravel hoppers. But again, I don't have room for any of it right now. But those are things that eventually down the line I'd go for. I'll tell you what, the biggest challenge. This railroad was a challenge for me anyway, with the multiple grades and uh, these gaps, so to speak. The whole room's windows and or doors. So, I mean, just spinning this area, all right, was a challenge. Uh, and then getting it to work was even more of a challenge. Uh, this room is only semi-climate controlled, and it's got an air conditioner portable air conditioner in the room. But anyway, the expansion, contraction, uh, and the joints. For this bridge alone, you got a joint here, a joint because this is a swing bridge, a joint here, a joint here, and a joint there. And if they're not perfect, okay, because it's going in and out of a curve and switch here, and in and out of a curve and switch on the other side. If it's not perfect, all you do is derail. I eventually, after 6 months of running and never opening or closing the bridge, I went ahead and put rail joiners on to fix it. All right, who popped in? Lee popped in.
Hello,
Hey,
Steve.
how you doing?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I've been working on the layout. I've got a video coming out later. So I thought, I'll leave where the camera's already where it was. So I thought, pop in to see you.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Did you see the live I done on Sunday?
I haven't gone back and watched it yet, Lee. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I got
Oh, it's
tied
okay.
up on some other things.
It's okay. Yeah, we had a good live. It was quite interesting. I made hedges.
Ah, okay.
You want to go back and have a look at it?
I'll do that.
All it was using, the liners you use for inside hanging baskets?
Yeah.
Them?
Is that for your bushes?
Yep. That's a video that's due to come out later.
That's a form of moss, isn't it?
It's not. It's a matting. It's a slight of like a matting.
Huh.
It's like a horsehair type matting. I've got a piece down. I've got a piece on the. I've got a bag of it here. It's like horsehair.
I stopped the wrong train.
That's it. It's like horsehair.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it was kind of like a mossy type.
Yeah, it's more like a horsehair. You can pull it apart. It wakes good bushes. I'll get one of them. Bear with me. To the other end of the loft.
Boy, I'll be glad when I get my JMRI and Panel Pro working so that I can see these switches on the TV. I have a camera that I can watch, but it doesn't really give good enough resolution. There's switches and stuff back there. And on Panel Pro, I'd be, oh yeah, I see Lee. Panel Pro, I'd be able to look up at the TV and see which way the switches are throwing. So, yeah, and to see a coconut fiber, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like coconut. It is coconut fibre. I've made hedges as well. I'll get my hedges. Oh, I've bust my camera. Blame Heath. Yeah, I made them out of green scarring pads. As well. I've been a busy little person. And I've got my GoPro camera working properly.
Do you?
Yep, I can record on it now. That's what I'm using to record, and I'm starting to edit videos instead of putting them up. I may have the video up later, or it'll be tomorrow. I need to edit it. I'm not happy. I want to piece it together. I've got another piece I need to put into it, so I'm going to edit it. So should be interesting to see what it comes out like. I can't move off 399 on subs. I need one more sub for 400, but I can't seem to move off it. YouTube are messing around with it as normal.
Yeah, yeah.
I was in, I'll tell you whose stream I was in yesterday. I was in Scott's. He was in, oh, he's had he was in Heath's modelling one last night.
That's easier said than done, Rick. Is this it? Like that?
I've been busy making pallets as well.
Oh yeah.
Been made pallets out of coffee stirrers.
I made my pallets out of real tiny slivers of balsa, and then I just put cardstock across the top, because once you stack stuff on it, you can't tell if they're boards or not anyway.
Yeah, no, these are just going to be on the side and with wheels on and everything. I've got. I'm not giving too much away for a project I'm working on. An area I'm working on. I'm not giving too much away on it, but there's a video to come out end of the month on an area that I'm working on. All I'll say is there's a lot of hard work going into it on weathering and putting stuff in the area what I'm doing.
I've got a train that's not liking. Oh, that's why. Duh.
What have you done, Steve? Blame Heath.
Yeah. What happens is, occasionally, you will get a cover. Now I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see.
Definitely a blame Heath moment.
Yeah. And now if I can find something to point with. Okay. So what was happening is my train was getting to a point at a switch, and it was coming to a very abrupt stop. I couldn't figure out why. But what it was is, if we look here, is this plastic cover, right, has loosened and just simply needs to be tightened up a little bit. Okay, so that the coupler doesn't fall. And also, even though the coupler has, I've bent up the trip pin some, it needs to be bent up a little bit more. And as soon as I find my angle pliers, which are right there.
Oh my god, I've got a train running!
All right, Lee.
You didn't see.
Hey,
Look.
everybody, take note. Lee's got a train
Look.
running.
Look at the distance.
Yeah.
I've still got a couple of droppers to do in somewhere because I've had to rewire a bit of the track. I've had problems.
Okay.
But I can actually run the train completely round the layout. I'm going to do a tour around the layout at some point. It's going slow as well.
I really need. I may bring my other computer out here and not wait for the new one.
That's why I like. I can run my laptop I've got now. I've had it redone. I can run 4 cameras off it now. And I'm
Yeah, I
getting
can do that. I have. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. With
yeah, but it locks.
if I run Manicam, I can run my cell phone, the 3 web cameras that I have, and a monitor camera all at the same time. Okay, and
Yeah.
which means be able to shuffle. Oops, you know what happens when you forget to close a switch and a train comes across?
You have a derailment.
Man, I get distracted talking to everybody, and it's hand of God time.
Yeah, I do. No, I'm not doing another train freak challenge. No, there's no derailment. I've actually got a train running, believe it or not, Heath. Oh, it's got
Exactly,
stuck.
it's your fault, Heath.
Yeah, it is. It stopped. It won't run again now. It's blame Heath.
I had a derailment. I had a derailment too. I forgot to close the switch, all because Heath showed up.
Yeah, I done the same. It's definitely a blame Heath moment. We hand the guards off him to get involved. Oh my god, I've got a train running! Get the flags out! Lee's running a train, it's only going back and forth, but it's on camera. I know what train I'm going to get out, and I bet you know one. I'm going to get this train out.
How many years have I been working on it? Construction began May or June of last year. But I've been planning this layout for decades.
I've got my 56 running as well now. The only downside, it doesn't like my corners. It doesn't like, I've got, the angle, I've got
Yes,
the curves.
that's why it's called the Retirement Railroad. Did you just wake up? Not have your coffee yet, or what?
I guess what I bought myself as well for doing the balloting. Look, Steve, what you use?
Yeah.
The thingy, the juicing ones. You use basters.
For what, ballast?
Yeah, for the glue. Yeah.
Well, it depends on how fast I want to work, Lee.
Yeah.
I can't get to it at the moment. Normally, I use a little eyedropper, okay, which holds about a fourth of what that pipette holds.
I bought that because I've got a lot of balloting to do. But I went to my model shop. My model shop is finally open.
But if I'm doing a whole lot at one time, and it's a hidden area, then I use a turkey baster.
Yeah, I got one. If I've got a lot of balloting to do on my industrial area where I'm starting work on next couple of days. I've got a load of balloting to do. I bought 30 bags of ballot.
Heath, I did put Smooth It on the hillside this morning, so it's not that I haven't done anything. So I should have it painted and ready for static grass for Friday, if you can get the stream to work.
Why? Did he have problems with last night's stream?
No, he's been piddling and changing over a lot of his software, so he's anticipating problems on Friday.
Didn't he have them last night?
No, everything went fine last night. I don't even think he muted me. I muted myself a lot, but I don't think he's had to mute me.
Oh, that's good. I don't usually have to mute you though, Steve.
Well, once Heath figured out he had my volume at 150% of everybody else's,
yeah,
I wasn't as guilty as what I was made out to be.
Yeah, that says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah. Did you see Carl's comment there?
Yes, I do. I get the glue delivered by tanker. Where is my tankers? I have got I have got petrol tankers, believe it or not.
Well, this new headset, Heath, all I got to do is flip. Let's see if I can get down. All right, all I have to do is flip this microphone up, and then it mutes me. So it's very easy to mute myself.
I've got a train I'm going to get out that someone's going to like that's in the stream. Heath. I've got a train that Heath will like.
Oh, circus train?
Yeah. It's from Thomas the Tank Engine. But it's a circus train. Circus carriage. Looks like a cattle truck, but it's actually a circus train. It's from Hornby, but it's to do with Thomas and Friends. I've been meaning to show that to Heath for a while. Oh, that runs quite well actually, that. Considering I've never run it since cleaning it. Great Western Railway train.
Alright, time to bring out the Burlington Zephyr.
You've got me messing with trains now because I've got the track running.
Well, I can't really do anything but run trains at the moment.
You're waiting for that Smith, the stuff to dry.
Yeah, because after I get it the way I want it, then I can do some ballasting. And once I do ballasting, then I can move over here and landscape where the roundhouse is.
Look at the sparks that's coming off that. That's
Sparks?
an original. Yeah, it's an original triangle. Yeah, it's an original triangle train. I've got two triangle trains. One, I've got the high Mac triangle, and I don't know what it is.
Trying to figure out what to run next. Coal drag or the meat train?
Cool. That cool next. Vintage trains. Oh, how far are you gonna run? Oh, let's see if it'll run. It's gone to the far end of the layout. Let's see if it'll. Go on. Go on. Go to the train station. Go to the train station. Go to the train station. Yay! It's gone from one end of the layout to the other.
Very good.
I've still got down where it ran to. I've still got about another 10 droppers to do, but I can't get any flocks, so I can't do any more soldering.
Well, welcome back, Tyler.
Welcome back, Tyler. I can't wait to get my new webcam though. I'm getting another webcam, but I'll be able to zoom in on it. I'm getting a webcam where I can zoom in.
Uh-oh. Wasn't paying attention.
You had a derailment?
Yeah, don't know why either. Never have derailments there. Although this is an old engine that goes out of gauge every now and then.
I can't run that. Look at that. What's that, Stay? I've got a caboose.
Huh?
It's a triangle caboose.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, as Heath would call it, wouldn't call it a caboose, would he? Whatever he calls
Oh,
it.
hell.
What have you just done?
I'm trying to back it up further than what the track allows. The good news is the bumper works.
Ah, yeah. I seen those bumpers you've done. Your video you put on earlier was quite good.
Oh, on the F7 that Frank gave me the shells for?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
beat the hell out of the Athearn shells.
Yeah, it was a nice video. I'm working on I've got a couple of things in the pipeline that I'm working on. I'm working on a new some new stuff for me layout itself, some new thumbnails and everything. They're in the pipeline. It's just going to take time now.
All right, meat train or coal drag?
Coal.
Coal. All righty.
Coal. Coal. Ah, but guess what? I was looking in my hobby shop when I went to my hobby shop, Steve.
Uh huh.
I was looking at airbrushes. He had two in the. I'm looking at getting one. I'm gonna get one, and he had two different ones, and they both come with air compressors. So I may be getting one. It'd make lighter work on the weathering and doing stuff on weathering on my locos and everything. So I'll look into it, I think. My headphones are gone, Dad. Yeah.
Oop, I didn't clean that switch very well after working over here.
Where's the coal hopper? Breaking things as normal.
The roundhouse is 4 different kits. Well, the roundhouse is 3 kits. Okay. They're 3 stalls each, but then it's been kit bashed. As you notice, you see how deep this one is and how shallow this one is because of the trunk. I had to truncate it because of the curve. Now eventually some foliage will be on that backdrop and some foliage around here, so it's not quite as evident, especially from down at track level. Hey JD.
Hello, JD.
And then of course the turntable is separate too. Walthers makes 3 different turntables. They're basically the same, just different lengths or diameters. This is the middle one, the 110. If you're running just diesels, you can probably get away with the 90 foot. If you're running steam, you're gonna need the 130 foot. I opted for the 110 because I can run any of the steam that I have or whatever have, and I can run small GP consists like I just did, GP 35s through it.
I've actually got it pulling its first load. It's got a glue train. A
Glue train?
Yeah, the glue. Yeah, you know what I mean. What?
Yep, tankers.
It's got glue in it. I need to change the sign to say Anfield Road's glue.
You need a stock car with horses.
Nah, sheep. I've got a stock car.
Put horses in it. That's what they used to use
weathered.
for glue.
I've got that. It's weathered.
There you go.
That that came off Dave. Dave Williams.
Yeah, Dave TMC.
No.
I haven't seen him in ages.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. He's not doing much on the trains no more.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. He's doing a load of drawing, I believe. Oh, I just had a derailment. Oh, come on. Come on.
Now the backdrop
Oops.
back there will eventually be cornfields.
I've just had a complete derailment.
I've got a hopper car that just doesn't like having weight pushing on it.
I've got one like that. It doesn't. The coupling does not like going. I'm on the little just the bar couplings, and
Some days this car runs fine. Other days it's nothing but a hassle.
yeah.
I've checked couplings. I've checked the tightness and looseness of the trucks. Weight.
Have you tried back to back?
I've tried switching it around, yeah. Now I'm moving it from the front of the train to the rear so that it doesn't have weight pushing on it
Yeah.
coming down a hill, because that's where it was derailing, coming down this incline.
Oh, it's so nice to have trains running. It's only going back and forth, but it's running trains. I only could have wanted to run them on camera. That's where I'm getting the short then, innit? That's where I'm getting the short. So, where that shed is there, I'm getting electric to there. So we need to get the monkey meter on where I'm not getting electric. See what voltage I'm getting down there. I don't think I'm getting full voltage.
I tell you what, I really like this alpha meter from DCC Concepts.
Oh, I'm looking into one myself. I'm toying getting one. Oh, that went further than it should do. Oops, just had a derailment.
See, I'm running 3 locomotives, and I'm at 14.4 amps. I mean 14.4 volts, 1.6 to 1.75 amps, depending on if a loco is going uphill or not.
Yeah, that's not bad. I don't know what the amps I've got going through
Nick.
my. I don't know what amps I've got going through my layout. To be honest,
At least right now, Nick, that's kind of my signature scene. What I think is really cool, especially on camera. All right.
that is a nice shot. That's on camera, Steve.
Whoa! I just hit 100% throttle.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
Oh, this area here. I mean, it looks like forced perspective on camera that it really goes back.
I think they are actually. My trains have been breaking the speed limit. I'm trying to go for breaking the sound barrier instead of the speed limit.
I don't think Rick Bailey's still on, but he won my contest, and I gave him a AccuTrack too, all right, speedometer. And he and his buddy were one Saturday afternoon. They were live streaming, and there were some adult beverages involved. And they said, "Look at that! It's 127 miles an hour." I've been working on this area over here, the lumberyard and Fairview area.
That's coming on quite well, that, Steve, your lumberyard.
Yeah, it's I'm really liking it. I debated, this stuff is not, well, yeah, I guess I did put it down. It's kind of, anybody that's familiar with Ron White, the comedian, you know, it's the lumberyard, fuel, gasoline, and hair care center.
Steve, you know the multimeters? What do you set it on to see what voltage you're getting through the track?
That's the problem. Most multimeters will not read DCC voltage.
DC, won't they?
They do make them, but most of them do not read it. And when I started
that
building
one does,
this
but I
layout,
don't know what to put that's the one I've got. I have had it read it, but I can't remember what to put the dial on.
well, it's got to be, it's either DC or AC.
Yeah.
I couldn't get any of mine. I got 3 different meters. I couldn't get any of mine to read.
I've had it, but I can't remember what the setting was, and I didn't write it down.
And it drove me nuts when I was putting the layout in the initial stages and wiring it up, because I wanted to check and see if I had track was live or dead or whatever. And
yeah,
the meter's reading dead. Well,
yeah, I've got another one as well. I've got one of those ones that got the bulb in as well. They're good. Well, that doesn't. That only tells you if your track's live.
Yeah. Yeah, they make these little indicator things you can put on.
Yeah, I was looking at them.
I'm gonna, even though it's daylight, watch what happens when I turn the room lights out. Give it 30 seconds. And it's really neat at night when the room itself gets darker, because this area here, it looks like sunset as the trains go by with this lamp, with this desk lamp on. There we go. I don't know if you saw it happen or not, but the layout lights came on. Now,
yeah,
something I learned the hard way. Dave TMC, if you recall way back when, Lee, one of your earliest live streams that I was on, talked about that copper tape.
Yes.
All right, so I used it on the underside of this plywood that the lumberyard sits on to wire up the lights to here and here. Well, last weekend, I went ahead and graveled this area. And to do that, I use sand, because our sand here in Florida is so fine. It is much finer than the finest Woodland Scenics ballast. Okay, much finer.
Yeah. I use play pit sand.
Yeah, this is finer than play pit sand.
Oh.
But anyway, I use it here, put it down, then use a generous amount of wet water. Wet water meaning it's got alcohol and dish soap mixed in with it. All right, and then came and put liquefied PVA all through it. Okay, and it works great. All right, and then I came back and oil stained areas that I wanted a weathered look to. The problem with it was my layout lights wouldn't work after that. because the wet water got down and filled up the area between the foam and the wood, right, and shorted out that bus. So I had to come in here to this area where I have the connections, right, and disconnect the two sheds which are on that bus. And now they work again. And I'll probably later in the week, when I know I'm done with this, go ahead and wire those two shed lights back up. I have no idea, Heath. I didn't invent the stuff. Probably the only, and it's probably called that, and this is just my summation, in that it flows better. You have a droplet of water, and you know how it bubbles up, kind of. Well, with wet water, it runs. Okay, and if you like when you're ballasting, you spray it down with wet water, and then you come in with your glue. Your glue doesn't bubble up; it actually soaks in and disperses.
Yeah, I do.
Much
I
much better.
I usually
Well,
spray it with washing up liquid solution
I
in a spray
lost my
bottle.
throttle again, and my train came. There it is.
I'm gonna have to jump out anyway, Steve, because I've got to go and do some stuff.
Okie dokie.
Thank you for having me up.
You
I would have
bet.
stayed. I would have stayed a bit longer, but I need to go and do some stuff.
Exactly, Heath. But why it's called wet water, I don't know.
Take it easy. Bye. Thanks for having me, Steve.
All right, take care, Lee. We'll see you later.
See you later.
I lost my cold drag. Here, I'll throw the link back up, see if anybody else wants to jump on up. Like I say, I'm retired. I don't have anything better to do all day. Well, that didn't work so good. I guess it would help if I turn the lights back on where I can see. pole drags give me some problems today. And that's why. Anybody left watching? No, I'm not muted. I didn't know anybody was still left. I asked if anybody was still around. Nobody said anything, so I didn't think anybody was still on. Over here getting the meat train ready. Keith, I put the link up if you want to jump on up. Or Nisi, should you care to. Note to self, don't stop on the magnets when you don't want to come uncoupled. Ah, totally understand that, Heath. Oh, bad day at Red Rock. Trying to switch again. Now I can throw the switch. Oh, hell. Getting really bad at running switches. Alright, now I got the meat train running. Okie dokie. There's the meat train. What did I do wrong there? Man, I'm just running through switches left and right. All right, Nisi, we'll see you later. Heath, you're a better man than me if you're even trying. Hey, Dwight. That's what I asked him a couple hours ago, or at least an hour ago. I think I got some maintenance to do on GP9. Dwight, that inference would be that his brain does work. At some point. But I tell you, if he's working on code, he's a better man than me because I won't touch it. I don't do Arduinos for that very reason. I did some coding back in the early '90s, and have no desire to ever do it again. Pre-Windows stuff. Pre-internet stuff, for that matter. Or at least internet as we know it. Oh. Ah, that's why. That is why. One of these reefer kits I got at a train show a few weeks back. It's got metal trucks, metal springs, and I hate them. I hate them. Nothing but a pain in the posterior. Oh, that's where I'm losing it. Okay. Oh. Imagine I should run the vacuum across this outer track here. But Heath, it's supposed to be a quest. Dang it, put it again. Which to me indicates an issue. Hey, welcome back, Lee. Same length. Come back up. Moving the meat train to the inner track. Gosh, I've been going 2 hours. Bring this one around and we're back in the shed and call it a stream. am going to lower the camera and show what is behind the gray wall. Don't let me get you too dizzy here. Some more trucks. Get rid of this metal spring. Didn't realize I had the wrong caboose. Got Santa Fe Power and a Burlington caboose. Oops. All right. Well, that's my running session for today. We ran the Combo Empire Builder North Coast Limited. Ran the Super Chief. We ran the Broadway Limited. We ran the Burlington Zephyr. And the B&O Capital Limited. We ran the Meat Train. We ran Gold Drag. The only things we didn't run was the grain and livestock train back to the farm but the farm area is under construction, and we didn't run the manifest freight. So, or we didn't run anything out of the lumberyard or Great Lakes, Lockport Industrial. So, all right, Heath, we'll see you later. Hey, Jerry, you're just in time to say goodbye. Wrapping things up after 2.25 hours. So, it was just a boring morning, but I thought I'd run some trains. Well, we'll see you all later. Have a great day. It's still raining here in sunny Florida, which is, trust me, abnormal because this is our dry season, not our wet season. So, okay, y'all. Take care. We'll see you later.